YouTube. Let's get situated real quick. What's up, House of X? I see you in the building.
Got on one of the Invictus.
You got your.
That's one active.
You know what that is, bro? Oh, show is. What color is that?
Clear.
Clear.
Pretty sure they go to the same manufacturer that Casio goes to.
Possibly.
Nah, I got a green one too, and I found this one is the same watch.
I got the green one. All right, y'all. So, testing. 1, 2, man. Are you guys hearing me clearly?
It's my man Trap. He's the man. It's his show, and even off his show, he's the man. Check me out. Hey, what up, though? Be good at it.
Yes, sir. What's happening,
You'll
y'all?
never see me with no beanie on.
Show have.
Reveals that Goku's new form can only be awakened if his...
All right, so like I'm just testing something right now, y'all. Hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much for confirming that. All right, so today, man, let's get into the wrist check real quick, man, because we got a lot to talk about for the next hour. If you're new here, man, I go by Trapvision 3D. You made it to the lifestyle, and the lifestyle of collectors and everything in between that, right? So wrist check, man, and please tell me at the time you get to see this, and those that's in the chat, what you got on the wrist? I got on the Hamilton piece, but we're gonna be talking about Invicta today, man. So, y'all, I learned about this, and I'm not surprised about this. Now, what I'm about to get into is alleged information. It's allegedly Eyal Lalo is under attack, right? He's going to go to court for, let's say, some underhanded dealings when it comes to the Invicta brand. Now, everything I'm about to read off to you guys, you could actually find down below, right? But before we get started, y'all already know, man, I have sponsors, man. Like I got sponsors, like 2 Cup. So I'm gonna do this. You see this? If you are in the Indianapolis area, come over here and grab it, because this is off the beaten path. But they coffee, and I'm gonna say this, not because I have to. It's not a paid sponsorship. This is because I believe in this company. Real talk. Starbucks, they killing you, but Starbucks, you kind of taste like, you know, burnt tires anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? You just consistent, and you a name, everybody knows who you are. It's convenient. But this right here, that's coffee. And there's actually drip on the side of me right now, and I'm about at the end of this cup right here. Y'all know I come in this place all the time. And the other one, the other company that is representing with your boy, man, actually did some of the imagery for my my channel banner, is Responsible Creator. So check out Responsible Creator. Shout out to all the people that actually purchased from the website. I appreciate you guys going over there and doing business, man. Dope spot. It's dope spot to go shop for t-shirts and stuff like that. Hoodies. I know some of you guys. It's still hoodie season. It's cold where I'm at. But we about to get into this, man. I'm about to read some stuff out to you guys. This is coming from, let me see, where we at? So what I'm about to read from you is a guy named Patrick Kennedy actually wrote this report, and he is from the Minnesota Star Tribune up in Minnesota, of course, right? What is it? Counter Prairie, I think is the area. So it's basically, it's saying that the suit alleges that Invicta Watch CEO double dealing harm Eden Prairie's base Shop HQ. And if you guys know what Shop HQ is, home shopping network at its finest, which went away, and I'm sure they had multiple names. So they went under Value Vision. I think that's when they started, under Value Vision, Shop NBC, Evine. That's when I came on in 2014, when I started like really paying attention to them. What's that? Yo, what's up, Vic? What is this, man? Brother. Yeah, what's up? Come on, welcome in. Welcome in. So today, I'm going to be reading to you again, and this isn't the first time that not Shop HQ, but Invicta has been in the headlines, because if you go online right now and type in just Invicta being sued by anybody, there's a number of people that sued Invicta years ago, stating that the watches didn't come with gaskets in them, you know, people wearing them, and they instantly fogged up. They went swimming in it, they instantly got all the water in it, and they were like, hey, these watches aren't being created, aren't being assembled properly. And there were multiple, I can't remember the number of accounts. But then there was an EPA violation in 2024. I actually got that written down somewhere. Matter of fact, here it is right here. September 19, 2024, EPA announces a settlement with Invicta. Now, this is alleged, right? But there was a fine that was paid, $119,880. That is down in the description. I talked about that last year or year before last when it happened. But again, that's not the first time Invicta's been in trouble. So let me pull this up real quick because I thought this was pretty interesting, and this has been across Facebook like crazy. And here we go. So let me suit alleges that Invicta Watch CEO double dealings harmed Eden Prairie based Shop HQ. The lawsuit reveals as part of the bankruptcy proceedings involving Shop HQ, said Eyal Lalo made deals more favorable to Invicta while Shop HQ directors took fraudulent payments. Now, let's just say this. There's a number of people. Matter of fact, Kamona's in the building. We got Godfather's in the building. There's a number of people that's in the chat right now that was privy to Invicta or the Shop HQ experience way before a lot of people. Bob Cohen, like we're talking back like 2007, 2008. You're talking about a time where Wing from Aragon was there, and that was allegedly one of the reasons why Wing left is because Eyal Lalo had it on lock from what they're saying. And they will promote Shop HQ will promote Invicta more than any other product on there. So there's a Morgan Stanley report that comes out talking about Swiss watches, right? So right now, if you look at that report, there's a number of YouTubers that have covered it. Rolex will have most of the market share. So if you break that down to how the Home Shopping Network went, Invicta owned like 30% of the market share over any other, we're not just talking watches, we're talking about other products. Because like they had all type, they had that doctor guy, they had all type of products that you could have got, battery doctor, what was it, the battery daddy they had on there. They had all type of stuff. You could buy socks and medicine, supplements, but none of those got aired as much as Invicta. Now, this isn't news. I mean, like what you can read on the news. This is something I saw for myself. So before we get, I'm gonna read some more. Let's talk about this. And I'm gonna ask that the people that's in the chat right now, you guys can sound off, and I actually encourage you guys to put comments down below as to what your experience with this is, because what was one of the questions, man? Hold up, I wrote it down. Somebody asked the question. Does leadership erode the brand? Does leadership erode the brand? What? Because Eyal has been allegedly said to have been doing these underdealings with Invicta, and not just that. There's other things that people have been talking about that I actually wrote down, like the poor quality of the product. Invicta used to be like in 2006 through 2013, the quality was a lot better than 2015 all the way up to current, especially right now. But we'll get into that. But because this lawsuit is happening, right, or is going to happen, it's scheduled to happen, because I was reading an article, in that same article, when you read, they haven't responded to it yet. Yeah, they haven't responded. Eyal or his team, their legal team hasn't responded. So who knows? Let me get into the chat real quick. Let's see who's in here. House X, thank you for being here. What up, what up, what up? Thank you, man. Yeah, man, you know what? I love this polo, man. I saw it, I had to grab that. Good afternoon, what's up, Jay Jones? Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so let's continue to read on. They say that For Media, an owner of Shop HQ, has sued Invicta Watch Company and its principal officer, Eyal Lalo, saying Lalo used his position on Shop HQ's board to negotiate deals that disproportionated the favored Invicta. Those deals, the lawsuit says, helped lead Shop HQ's bankruptcy. So I remember watching, who was it? Teddy Barbasor literally did a video clowning Shop HQ. It was actually QVC, but he used the TV personalities from Shop HQ at the time. I think maybe Yvonne. It's still the same. It was on the iMedia. And basically, there were questions. I went into his chat and they were like, do people still buy off of home shopping networks? This is where your boy come in. So I have a bunch of examples over here. Matter of fact, hold up, man. Like, because we're here on set, this is my Invicta stuff, notes and everything else. These are watches that I acquired over time. And for those that don't know, you have companies like Glycine, right? Glycine is supposed to be represented by Invicta, the CEO. When they acquired Glycine, the deal was allegedly that they would not have any say-so over the design, but they would market this. And I could tell you this off experience, I haven't seen Invicta market this, right? And what does that have to do with the bankruptcy? Leading up to, what is the position of Eyal Lalo? And I'm gonna share some stuff because I've actually been on cruises with this guy, right? A number of you guys that's been associated with Invicta know that this has been a global phenomenon. Like, I remember interviewing him. My interview with Eyal Lalo was extremely short because personally, it said that he's really not a people person. He seemed uncomfortable when I put him on the spot. I said, hey, I just want to ask you a couple questions. He was like, oh, like, really, you gonna do this right now? Yes, sir, we're doing this right now. Because as I'm sitting on this ship, a cruise that was assembled by him and his team to celebrate what it would seem to have celebrated customers, and the fact that Invicta was so global, right? It was said that Invicta would sell like 1,000 watches per hour, right? And they had millions and millions. So like if they had their own Morgan Stanley report, Invicta would literally, if you put it across the globe, right? Invicta, they said on average had like 14 million customers. 14, that's a lot of people buying Invicta, but like, that's the whole premise of Invicta. You know what I'm saying? Invicta was founded in 1837, and it was built on the fact that like, we're gonna give you a premium piece, a timepiece, Swiss made, for an affordable price. And that was the same thing. So when Invicta went dormant during the 80s, during the quartz crisis, Eyal Lalo's family, they came out, bought it in 1990, and it's been rocking. It came out during hip hop, like hip hop was killing it during the 90s. And he jumped on that, right? And then you got people that's in the chat right now that have some older pieces. Matter of fact, I'll show you a piece that is a little older, that if this watch was made by another company, it would be super expensive. So this right here, Pro Diver, chronograph. And this is an older one because that rotor shows you that is one of the original rotors for Invicta. This watch has a Value 7750 in it, right? And they didn't have sale prices back then. Like, so if it was $1,500, it was $1,500. But what would this watch go for right now if another company was to give you a stainless steel timepiece, sapphire crystal, in the Value, a Swiss made movement? And this is said to have been the Swiss made because this is an older model. This is one of the older Invictas that I acquired. This watch would be hella expensive right now, but that was the pride of the brand. People would get on this and like it created like this buzz. Going back to when I talked to Eyal Lalo, I said, I don't think you know what you got here. Is we're looking, I literally looked around all these people and they're celebrating being a watch collector, being an Invicta fan, off the top. Hold on, let me see. Shop HQ has always been good to me. I had no issues with their customer service. Okay, so there we go, right there. That's one. Thank you for that comment. Some people don't have that same testament. Gentlemen, you look like you're ready for a round of golf. Yeah, brother. Okay, so let's move on. And what I'm going to be getting into, like, not only am I going to be showing you watches, I'm going to be giving you examples of what I've seen in this and what was said on Facebook, because this topic is going crazy on Facebook right now. People are talking about like, Invicta's in for it. And there's some people that's banking on Invicta falling. But what do you guys think about this? This allegedly speaking, that he's he's done some underdealings, right? Let's see. The steep decline of home shopping networks may not be the only reason for the demise of ShopHQ. Once a national player in the industry, and I'm telling you, dude, it used to be like so many people just in the chat, and just how YouTube is. You guys right now know that there are a number of YouTubers, content creators that's talk like horologists, right? I can name them off: Teddy, TGV. All of these guys have been doing a thing for X amount of years, and I think TGV is probably one of the oldest platforms out there. And you think about how many people jump into the comment section, right? On a episode of ShopHQ or Evine, there were a number of people that would be chiming in and were buying stuff, man. And I'm talking about people buying like 4 to 5 on average. On average, I think the average customer was probably buying at least 3 watches per episode. And you had Sunday would be power play, be like watching NFL. Man, anybody in the chat right now that has been a part of that, you could testify to that. And then there would be a show after that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a more intimate show where they talk a little more free and it's like closed in, and everybody get to chat in, and they're responding to everything that you say for the most part. The language gets a little more raunchier, you know what I'm saying? But it was a movement. It was more than just, hey, I'm buying a watch. Or like Invicta fans were like, before the term enthusiast came out, I would say they were enthusiastic about being a part of the brand. But going back to this lawsuit, it says a lawsuit was filed by ShopHQ's owner of a 4 Media, said self-dealing by one of its board's members, including a $7.7 million in fraudulent payments, damaged the company financially. So pretty much that's been circulating I think since 2023. Like, we heard some stuff. There's rumors that Eyal did something like extremely fraudulent, and I'm sure during this, as this case bust open, there's gonna be some things that I heard, and I want to see if it was true or not. But I heard that there was like something major that it goes past watches, but I won't speak on that right now because that is a rumor, and I'm not spreading rumors right now. Hold on, let me get into the chat because somebody left a huge message. I've seen this on forums. Dude comes in all excited. He got a new watch and he can't wait to show it. His watch taken apart in the comments for having a crap watch. Yeah. Then there's that part. Okay. Let's talk about that real quick. Let me pull up another watch real quick. So Invicta has been known for, when it comes to horologists or anybody, any content creator on this platform, or even Instagram and TikTok, the Pro Diver is the #1 watch that's talked about. They say if you are to get an Invicta, you want to go and get the 40 up to 42 millimeter, this model right here, or the 1953 model. That is the only Invicta that, excuse me, that matters, right? And I'm going to say that's bullcrap, because one of the best-selling Invicta, 2 of the best-selling Invictas was, and I don't have an example of either one, but the Pro Diver Lupa, the Pro Diver Scuba and the Lupa were like the #1 sellers back, and I want to say like the early 2000s. And Eyal actually patented that Lupa to no style watch, and it became one of the biggest things out there. But then you have watches, I'm gonna tell you what you will never see on another channel, because they'll always show a watch and say, hey, and I'm calling out the other YouTubers, they'll pick out, just say a Venom with a chronograph, and they're like, look, this watch is grotesque, but it wasn't to the people that bought them. They had a flawless design on these bigger watches, and you can't, like, for every content creator that don't like, that hates, that absolutely are disgusted with these designs, that's your opinion, and that's going against the millions of people that actually love Invicta. So here's a model right here. This is called the Jailbreak. This watch is something that I was like, oh, I want to see more of this. This wasn't Invicta's original design, and one thing Eyal Lalo was good at was acquiring other names, like Gabrielle Union, Shaq. He built watches around this, Marvel, DC. This dude had it all. I mean, had it all. Now we'll discuss more of that. Let me get into the comment section real quick. Hail Caesar, welcome in everybody. Killing the Monday mailbag. Oh, okay, I missed it. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I didn't see it. What's good, my friends? What's up, John? Welcome in, bro. Appreciate you guys being here. We never got watches on our shopping channels, only food processors and vacuum cleaners. All right, hit that like button, thank you. Ooh, y'all hit that, it's a hype button on there too. I'll be hyping people's videos up. You can, and you know, there's only so many times you can hype up somebody's video. I thought it was like endless, but I think, cause I can only hype up like, I think 3 to 4 times before you have to reset. Whoa, there are so many QVC sale junkies. The hierarchies of what worthy was filler. Yes, there are. People like what they like. I've never going to bash people who love watches regardless of the brand. And that's been the thing too. Eyal Lalo had it made. And in my humble opinion, he had it made with the customer base. And it's been said about customers that he is not he really don't like being around people like that. And I'm like this, it really don't matter, because then when it comes down to the money, excuse me, y'all. When it comes down to the money, that's the part where I'm like, hey, you don't have to like people. You like money, because if you follow Eyal Lalo, you know, you never see him really posting himself on there. He's always posting his family. He'll post his trips, his yacht and stuff like that. And if he's doing something with the Invicta plane, and I'm going to mention something that it was a part of marketing, advertising, and getting customers hype, that I personally question. I'm gonna talk about it in just a second. Let's dive into this real quick. All right. It says the lawsuit describes iMedia's corporate governance during Lalo's time on the board as riddled with conflicts of interest. Call to Invicta and lawyers from ShopHQ were not returned. That was from ShopHQ, not what I said before. I stand corrected. This suit was made public in January through an adversary proceeding in the still open bankruptcy filing of Legacy IMBDS Inc., right? And I remember I actually had shares in that thing, and then I seen it went, I didn't even talk about it because I lost money, which was the entity that took a parent company of ShopHQ into bankruptcy in June of 2023. 4Media, controlled by, I don't know this guy, I can't even pronounce this, Manoj Hagava, but it's the same guy that created 5 Hour Energy. He's the one that bought it. And I believe what did he spend on this? He spent $40 million to buy ShopHQ, and then put another $20 million into trying to revamp ShopHQ, because you guys have to go back and look at, I actually covered this. There was so much money. Then they came out with a watch brand. I can't remember the name of that watch brand. But it came out and it looked sort of like Invicta, but they wanted $1,000 for an NH35 in a quartz movement, right? And I was like, what are y'all trying to do? They were trying to make up for the loss in sales that Invicta did, because Shaq got him. Shaq is a businessman and he ripped him. So, you know, Shaq was with Invicta, but it wasn't the watches that he got him on. I think it was his kitchenware, because he wanted his money, right? Just like in all the money, like from the cable company that they was with, all of these people that they owe money to. And it was said, now this actually involves, if you go back to that original lawsuit, this didn't just include Invicta. This was more of the old CEO fraudulent, same situation, allegedly. On the road, stuck at some railroad tracks. Oh, wow. I've said this before, but if Invicta ever decided to go back to their roots and made their watches in the home location with higher grade movements and materials, they would be cooking. It's a possibility. Julius, hold up, before I even go further than that, because I literally just had a conversation with another collector, and Invicta to me has kept the same model. And not only did they keep the same model, they actually took a step back, because Invicta, from my perspective, is moving in a bubble as if no other watch company exists. right now. You have micro brands that's doing on-the-fly adjustments, right? And we're not even talking the business end of how Eyal Lalo runs it in his team. We're talking about the quality of the watches, man. I have a watch here right now. I'll show you guys. It's a sizable timepiece. There's a lot going on. This is called a Kraken. This thing has an R150, the Ronda R150 movement in it. And Eyal Lalo is actually friends with the CEO of this company, of Ronda. Now, yes, this is a big, massive watch, and there's a lot of features in it. It went crazy when they dropped this watch. It went nuts. This not even a sapphire crystal, it's mineral crystal, but like, look at the distortion. There's a lot of stuff. Do you tell time on this thing? Like, the date, in my opinion, is extremely small. You have to have glasses to see it. If like your eyes are good, you can see it, but like it's a waste, in my opinion. But it has mother pearl in everything else. The polarizing look of the aesthetic is what sells this watch, right? And then it has a Swiss movement in it. That's the other selling point. And it didn't cost over $500, right? It was like, yo, I can get this watch. And yes, it does take up a lot of real estate. But to an Invicta collector, this watch is pure gold. To your average enthusiast currently, they're like, what in the world is that? Yes, but that is a massive timepiece, and I have it in my collection. It's been in my collection for quite some time. And Invicta was selling on this, but like, look at this one problem. Friction-based clasp, right? An ample amount of micro adjust, but then you look how cheap the clasp is. Once you get down to the bottom of this watch and you experience other watches, for example, hold on, I got some examples, y'all. I got some other things with me. And we'll jump right back into that. Shoot, you know what, this is an expensive piece. High beat, friction base, but then you have the push button, so you have two levels, right, of adjustment. Now, is this the best class for a watch? No, but it's still an upgrade from that Invicta timepiece, and it's still affordable. And these two watches would be in the same price range, right? But an Invicta collector would definitely choose this one over this because of the size. People love the larger and more polarizing look. This is still a dope piece. This is one of my favorite pieces, but I just want to make that example. And here's a perfect example of a micro brand company that they don't have a friction base, and they have on the fly nomadic. Push a button, you're good to go. Invicta has yet to adopt that. They have not, and they continue to go that route, right? They refuse to advance the make of the watch. And yes, I do agree, if they kept up with the times and made these things standard, yes, you'll have more and more customers. But let's continue. John said something to say there's tons of great things in any brand catalog just can't be true for everyone as well, as we all own different tastes, but some models are better at their objective than others. I agree with that. He said, game over, game over. We can't hype anything. It's not available in South Africa, and I don't know why. If you could have Invicta in Africa, would you do it? Would you buy Invicta? And that's a question. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys this right now. For those of you guys that are Invicta fans, right? Would you buy into something like this? Because these watches are available. Like, these older ones are on eBay. You have to check your thing. But because Invicta is, or Eyal Lalo is allegedly being accused of some false dealings or underhanded dealings with money and ruining another company, would you continue to buy? I think that's a legitimate question. Let's continue real quick. So what, the previous CEO or the CEO of 4Media saw that everything fell apart. This whole bankruptcy. Shop HQ ended live 24-hour programming once the hallmark one of the hallmarks of Home Shopping Network fell apart, right? They moved to tape programming. That didn't work for Invicta collectors, I'm telling you, because And I was one of them. I tuned in to every episode. So you had episodes with RJ on, I think it was Tuesdays, lunchtime on Tuesdays. They had Wednesday nights. They had Thursdays. Sometimes they'll have all week because they had so many different models that they were showing. Then when they did the announcement of Marvel, when they did DC, then the NFL, when they did the NFL launch, people went nuts for that, right? One customer, one Invicta fan bought the whole team of pro divers in every team. Then he bought another set. He bought a set to set up because it came with a case and everything. Then he bought the other set to wear on a regular basis. So he stored those. Yeah, he stored those watches, which call him crazy. I'm gonna call him a fanatic. He loved the brand, right? He loved everything about it. So this is the thing that, like, when I talked to Eyal back in, that was 2019, I think I talked to him. Yeah, it was 2019 when I interviewed Eyal. And I literally told him, I said, bro, I don't think you know what you have here. And I said that respectfully because the way he moved, because he was kind of distant on some of those, some of those interactions. And I mean, he was present. We on the ship, of course you're gonna see him, but he wasn't as interactive, and they would have keep in mind, dude, these cases, what we would do as collectors would take these around and have other collectors sign them. That's how hyped people were about this brand. They loved Invicta. People still love Invicta. You know what I'm saying? But I'll still ask that question. For those of you guys that are still collecting currently, if this lawsuit comes to light to the point where he's found guilty of something fraudulent, will you continue buying Invicta? So it says in late 2024, in early 2025, the company laid off nearly all of its employees and closed its Eden Prairie offices and production studios and its Bowling Green, Kentucky distribution facilities. Now, this is what I can talk about personally. Before they closed the doors, I got an opportunity to go up to Minnesota, and I saw the actual everything, operation. There was a number of us that were invited by Invicta Ryan. RJ, right? Know him personally. You guys, he's been on the channel. I've interviewed him. I've stayed at his house. And when I tell you, being a representative of Invicta, now this is a personal note. That's my guy. I like RJ. Think he's a dope guy. You take the watches off the table. This is a very interesting man, very passionate. He is very loyal. And I thought that when this happened, when all of these bankruptcies and all these alleged things that Eyal did happen, their people's lives were interfered with financially. People had to go find other jobs, and things of that nature. People that's been used to it. People got placed with, y'all know that Invicta moved over to JTV. And I was like, that was, my personal opinion, that was a crap show. Absolute crap show. That you're taking something that has been decades and decades, over 30 years of home shopping network and building up, like from Jim Skelton, and all these people had invested their time and efforts and their expertise into building Invicta up into what it is today, right? It is a powerhouse. And I'm gonna say this, yes, Invicta has put out a lot of crap. Let's just keep it 100. There's watches that I don't like, but there's a lot that I absolutely adore. I enjoy it, and I still wear it to this day. I think that and for those of you, and this just going off this comment, those of you that bought for an investment, I'm gonna buy this, keep it, and it'll be worth money later. Stop it. Invicta was never meant to do that. I'm talking about if you take it back to 1837, affordable timepieces. You want an investment, Rolex and then above. Stop it. But anyway, let's get back to what. There were people's lives that were interfered with. People lost jobs. People had to regroup. You know what I'm saying? And I think, in my humble opinion, forget that. I'm not about to mix words. I think RJ got screwed in that whole situation. I don't like how it was done. I think it was crap. You got a man that has been dedicated to this brand, and that he got the rug pulled from under him. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's what I would say. That whole thing was garbage. Let me see. Also heard he was a big time gambler. That never helps. You know what? I will say this too. On that, Eyal Lalo, even RJ got caught up in this one. When it came to the George Floyd situation, there was a few collectors, black collectors, asked Eyal Lalo where he stands in this matter, because they noticed that when South America got hit by some type of storm or something like that, he was there. He flew the plane down. It's documented. It's documented. It's not like you can't see it. You can look it up. And you know what I'm saying? If you do a little deep dive of Eyal Lalo and how he moved with Invicta, he went and he gave to South America's efforts when that storm hit. He was helping supply food, clothes, the whole nine, which is great, right? But when it came to George Floyd and things in the black community, when the Black America was under attack by certain things, Eyal Lalo was very silent. He didn't say anything. He was silent, said nothing. And people literally said, okay, so since you don't stand with the black community and the black community all like helps fund you, right? Some people backed out. There was even collectors testifying that they threw their watches away. I'll say this about that. I think that's crazy that you do that, because it's the same as like when Kaepernick situation happened and people were burning their Nikes. You bought it. You spent your money, and I know it's a protest. I get it. You're protesting, but like, yo, you're wasting money. You wasted your money. You literally bought the item. It belongs to you, and you just pitch it. You could have gave it alone. You could have gave it to somebody else. You could have sold it for $20, like something. Get something out of it. But yeah, so that's why I asked the question. If this comes out in court and Eyal Lalo stands up there and is found guilty for this, would you continue to buy Invicta? I don't care what people roll with on their wrists. Just enjoy the day and the hobby. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, man, because I'm definitely going to enjoy. I love collecting, y'all. So if this guy really loves Invicta, then why doesn't he put an enthusiast like you in charge that gives the people that what they want? Do some moving and shaking. Okay, let me answer that by saying this. I requested this, and this is real. This ain't rumor mill. I sent Eyal Lalo a message personally, right? I emailed him. I sent him something on Instagram, and not only did he not say anything, he went silent. He just went blank. I got it back from who he talked to, and he stated from this person. I won't disclose who told me, but it was somebody in his staff. He does not want to go with this guy because nobody listens to this guy when it comes to Invicta, to this brand right here, this brand right here. Now, let me tell you a fact. The first event that I ever went to when I started talking about micro brands, I walked into Minutes and Hours. And the first comment that was made when I walked through the door and somebody saw me, they said, hey, there go Mr. Invicta right there. That was one person. But then we can attest to this that I saw personally. 2018 cruise, that was my first time coming out. I filmed a little bit and I started my channel later that year. So 2019, I was showcasing, you guys can see it. I showcased every Invicta cruise that Eyal Lalo and his team put on, and the cruises that collectors put on when it comes to Invicta. There were people that came on the cruise, they didn't know about the cruise. They said, hey, I saw your video, so I'm there. So therefore, I don't care if it was one person, there was somebody that was influenced. You said, and I quote from your team, nobody listens to this guy when it comes to Invicta. You are mistaken, my friend. So yes, I actually inquired about that. I requested it. I painted it out. How this should look. I don't have the watch with me, but there's a glycine timepiece that I actually bought from my efforts with doing an ambassadorship program, which went through Shop HQ, which was not their original idea. That was my idea, but of course, that's neither here nor there. That just comes to this, like this alleged situation. It just seems like there's a lot of underhanded stuff coming from Mr. Lalo, allegedly. Okay, so this goes on. If you like, and again, if you just got here, you can actually go down in the description and Reed, there's two articles that I have down there. One is through EPA, but the first one is this actual news article by Minnesota Star Tribune correspondent Patrick Kennedy. This goes on to say that Invicta was founded as Value Vision. No, I'm talking about Shop HQ or iMedia was founded in 1990 as Value Vision International. It went public a year later. It was a parent company. It changed names from Value Vision Media to Shop NBC to Evine Live to iMedia Brands. It hit its peak in 2007, and I believe there's a number of you guys that were a part of that when it first started in 2007, or when it hit its peak. 2007, 2008, then Shop HQ employed nearly 1,100 employees and had annual revenue of $781 million. That's impressive. Even then, Shop HQ mostly occupied a distant third place behind widely watched home. That's crazy, because QVC and HSN was like it. I used to watch that with my mama. You know what I'm saying? So for them to do that through watches, though, think about it. We're talking watches. People were hype about watches. People didn't know I didn't even know the term horology even existed when I was watching, and I'm talking about in 2014. I didn't even know horology existed. I didn't know the term until I got here in this space. From 2009 to 2023, as Shop HQ operated under different parent companies, it was never profitable, according to the lawsuit. I wonder why that is. After the layoffs in early 2025, Shop HQ all but disappeared until the fall. Arena Group, which bills itself as Initiative Media and Technology Company and owns publications such as The Street and The Parade, announced that it had acquired the intellectual property of Shop HQ from 4Media. So there was a lot of dealing back and forth, and they're trying to get this thing back to where there's going to be a profit. Y'all know how it is, man. Like, and you're not into business just to break even. And they, according to this, wasn't breaking even. And there was a lot of stuff going, oh, hold on, what? I didn't go to this one. Ironically, some of the current Shop HQ live stream featured Invicta watches. The watches come in a variety of styles, are priced well below those of luxury brands like Rolex, Patek, Omega, and Cartier. And that's the thing, is people were banking on that. Like, that's why they love Invicta. And this is the thing, the advantage that he had. And he dropped the ball. I mean, he dropped the ball at the end of the day. Let me get to the comment sections. What draws you to Invicta as an enthusiast? In the beginning, the first watch that I ever got, which I don't have with me, I love the design cues. It was a 42. Is it 40? It was 42 millimeter specialty, and then I had a 48 millimeter Sea Spider. I love the colorways. It went with any outfit that I had. I love styling. I love that, right? I love color coordination. And shortly after that, man, it was the community, man. I was like, there's a host of people that love these watches too. So I'm looking at all the different styles, and I met different people, and I was like, yo, I like this. And I fell in love with the whole thing, man. And we were getting watches. And you know what's crazy is, as an Invicta collector, I understand that there were other watches, like, of course, the main brands, like your Cartiers and Longines and things of that nature. Those watches existed, but they didn't hold any weight at the time because I was enthralled with this whole lifestyle. Hence the title that I use with this channel. I fell in love with that. It really instructed me on watches and like horology, right? It actually, there's a deep dive, and I just fell in love with that, right? And I was like, wow, it's crazy that you can get some of these same movements, like that the big boys are using in these watches for a fraction of the cost. I love that. I love that whole concept. And then I get to wear some huge polarizing piece with a pair of J's that I just got, or some Adidas that I like to rock, and yeah, and I didn't, I remember getting into arguments with people early on as far as my YouTube career is concerned, about the quality, because I hadn't had any issues with my watches, and people kept talking about the quality. I said, my watches have not failed, blah, 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 whatever. And then as time went on, I had a couple watches that failed, but every watch fails. Every company has failures. It just happens. But then what I ran into was, there was a number of things. I saw that if I talked about a micro brand, people like paid attention to that. And I'm not y'all know I'm not a review channel. I will review a watch and tell you what I think of it personally, but for the most part, people weren't getting behind it. And it was crazy because it was like Invicta collectors, they would just glance over the channel. And I really didn't start getting people's interest until I started talking about these other watches. But I still have there's a watch I'll show you that when I saw it for the first time on Home Shopping Network, Evine, it's this piece right here. This is part of Heritage Collection. This is called a Sabako Noma 3 Heritage. And I just like the design of it. I love all the chrome. And this has a Salida 200 in it. And, I had looked up the movement and like, oh man, they use that Salida 200 in other brands. And it's like $3,000, $4,000 more than this one. Keep in mind, even with the ETA movements, who is it? What is that? Hugh Blow use ETA movements. And they got one watch that's $7,500 or $7,900 now. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And we're talking Hugh Blow. And so it's already been said that Hugh Blow is like the more expensive version of Invicta. Polarizing, of course. They did back in the day. Okay, yeah. This is why trepidations on these fringe brands. Morning, everybody. What's up, Woody? Welcome in. I'm definitely more aware from channels like this. I'm glad Trap speaks about it. This will probably happen with some current micro brands. That's it. It said Invicta looks like a sculpture. They do believe in Jesus rapture soon. Okay, thank you. The blue bracelet is fire, although autocorrect. Okay, all right. The bracelet is funky. It wouldn't be difficult to piggyback from previous models in the past. Ask them. Julius, I'm about to get into that in a second. Give me a second. Risful, what's up, man? He said he was so high, the fall is about to be spectacular. Yo, that's crazy. How many people are looking forward to Invicta falling though? Let's keep it 100. Who wants Invicta to fail? Who wants Invicta to just drop off? Some people may not put that in the chat. If you made it this far in the live, man, if you watching on replay, put it in the chat. Like, hey, man, I can't wait to Invicta fall off. Would Invicta be better under different leadership? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? I'm gonna leave. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna read no more of the article. I actually dove into the article, and it's very interesting. It's a good read. I encourage you to just pick it up down there below. I also tell you to go check out my sponsors, Responsible Creator, and then you know what I'm saying. If you got your phone here, I'll put this up there. You can go back and scan that. This is for the people that's coming to Indianapolis. If you come to Indianapolis, man, I'm telling you, get this coffee. It's not Starbucks. It's not Starbucks. Anyway, I'm going to say my piece on this whole thing. Y'all know I love watches. I do. I enjoy watches. And I got a watch that I bought this from a cruise ship, right? I bought this 2 years ago, right? And this is a Kula, and there's another design cue in this watch. See, I forgot the other watch. My Invicta catalog is rusty. But this watch, hardly ever have that rotating bezel like that. It's always fixed. This is a concept piece that never came out. There was only one made, and it's this one that I got in my hand. This is the only one that was ever made. Now, what does that mean for an Invicta collector? Somebody would definitely love to have this in their collection. And this will, at one point, go to somebody. I don't know, it'll go to somebody. But like this was marking the first time that, actually the second time that Invicta or Eyal Lalo allowed collectors to host a cruise, right? So you get a number of collectors to come around and do their thing, right? And he will promote it by allowing Ryan Johnson to come out and be with us and represent the brand and just go on and do our thing. Good business move, right? Because it shows, like it should show, that this CEO has an interest in his collectors. But I'm telling you the vibe that I feel, this isn't about no allegations or anything like that. This is how I feel. There were a number of people like me that fell into that whole category of like, Ryan Johnson will post, hey, send your ideas over to this and and collectors were doing it. I pulled a bunch of ideas. I've been putting these ideas since 2021. Like, oh man, we should do a watch like this. And I would put series of watches of how they would look. Actually two watches actually came out, you know what I'm saying? And I got the picture like, hey, your watch is being reviewed. Your watch idea is being reviewed. You know what happens with that? Their design engineers don't have to pay them, I guess, you know, they don't have to be used, because now you got collectors that's telling you what they want. You say, hey, you know what, that'd be cool. Let's see what that looks like. Boom, got it out there. And now whoever was the originator of that design does not get credit for it. They don't even get the watch. And I said, that's not taking care of customers. I'm going to tell you this. Mark from Long Island, TGV, love or hate them. I'm not here to debate how you feel about them. From a business standpoint, I like this watch, and they do have a number of watches. TGV is designer of, I don't know how many watches, right? He's on team, he's an advisor and stuff like that. However, there's designs out there that you can jump into, and you can meet TGV. He's out in New York. People like talk to this guy, email, all this other stuff, right? He shows an interest in the people that loves horology, that follows horology. Mark, same way. He opens up to where the customers, now he's a businessman, but he opens up to where the customer is going to get the most bang for their buck. He offers that, right? Again, take the personal stuff out of it. We're talking from a business standpoint. If you like watches, you can't say that this man doesn't put out brands like watches that some are accelerated price, some are lower, but he covers the gamut. And then he goes out to these events. And then he posts that, hey, this is the money, I'll dang near break even. If I do make any money, it's like $1,000 over. So like, what's $1,000? That's chump change. Doesn't matter. He is involved with his creation, his business, and the customer. Invicta, from Eyal's standpoint, is not. And I'm saying that personally because, like, with the new releases, he's on WhatsApp, What's Not app, selling his watches like hotcakes. But you're not involved with the customer base. You're not doing anything. Now, going back to Shop HQ, when they were doing their thing, they had a promotion of a Mini Cooper giveaway. And I'm going to say this. I don't believe that car was ever gifted or ever actually put into the hands of a customer. That was a promotional tool, because you think about how much was a Mini Cooper? How much is a Mini Cooper? Is that a $40,000 vehicle? Just about. And I'm just gonna throw it out because I'm not sure. You guys know. We can look it up. It's like a $40,000 vehicle, and they did it 3 times. That's an expensive promotion. Plus, they had it wrapped in the Invicta thing. And why would you? That's my question. Why would you put a car that we can possibly win, right? Why would you put that out there, knowing that this community post everything? We post every watch, we post every event, we post every time we meet up with each other. We go into barbecues, Godfathers. Like, this man, nobody in the world knew who Godfather was. And some of you guys probably don't know, but like, if you watch my channel, you've seen me pop up at this man. We go all the way out to Virginia, drive out there to pop up with this man. And it's not an Invicta event. You just happen to have Invicta collectors that came together. Here, I stated it all started with a watch. And that's the truth. I'm only here because I have a passion for watches, and Invicta was the first brand that I started this channel with. And this is how I got to know some of you guys, a lot of you guys. And Eyal Lalo did not take advantage of that. He didn't show, in my humble opinion, didn't show a real appreciation for the customer base, because, again, going back to that Mini Cooper, I personally don't believe that happened. I don't believe an actual customer got that. And if he did, if you are a customer, you watching this channel, I have yet to see that car posted. It's supposed to be 3 Mini Coopers out there that Invicta collectors won. I'm calling BS on that one. Now, I could be proven wrong, but you had 3 chances to show, like, man, because any Invicta collector is going to post. Man, we posting bracelets that's not even made by Invicta, which is crazy. Let me get back to the chat real quick. Sounds like there's, man, too many chiefs in Invicta's kitchen, leaving it all over the place, and lack of model-specific design language. And that is true. Yes, it is. Yes. Like, customers make decisions. I think, you know what, so Seiko did that. Seiko allowed, there was one watch that Seiko did, and customers loved it. They all had a consistency. I actually had that watch. And I gave it away to a collector. Deserving collector. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea, man. Especially, but so you got to think about this though, y'all. What is every brand like? So the way Cartier is marketed, the way Omega is marketed, Rolex, everybody has their own type of marketing. And I know right now Omega is trying to beat out Rolex, and you ain't gonna do it, Omega. Sorry. But here's the crazy thing. Invicta as a whole, the way Eyal Lalo was running the ship and allowing his team to run the ship, you based everything around the customer experience. You drew all these people in, right? And this alleged lawsuit that you have looming over your head, bro, that's saying that it's all about the money. You have a race team. You were, and I'm telling you, because I was invested in this company, just go back and look at all my videos. I have over 1,800 videos here, and majority of them are Invicta based. I saw the money. With the shares that I had invested, like, cause you can go and you can see who has shares and what. I saw it. I saw you at the very top. Hey, so I just got a message that would, you know what? I'm gonna get into that in a second. You were at the very top. And then I saw the money doing it. Then I saw that he was worth over $25 million. Then I seen that drop, and then here comes the racing team. And then that gave him the ability to put out the same type of designs, not going back to the old stuff, not going back to the stuff that was made in the 70s. I've yet to, like, when he did go back, cheap quartz, you never kept up with what's going on, man. Like, you got, again, I will use Nomadic as a new startup company, micro brands, bro, that's putting out, like, in Laurier, right? You know what I'm saying? Using high beat movements, and they're giving you watches, or not giving you, but like they're putting out watches that's around the $500 mark. You could do that. Invicta was charging $529 for a quartz movement for like the 8040N, and then after that whole bankruptcy deal, now these watches, matter of fact, coming out of COVID, we once saw these watches, these quartz watches, going for $500 to $600 for a quartz timepiece, right? And people were buying them by the boatloads. People were buying the whole set. Like, there was a whole set of these watches, different colorways, right? That's how they were putting out freaking, what was it, 5,000 on average. Invicta was putting out 5,000 models. And keep in mind, there's, let's just say this Sabakwa Noma, right? You will have, let's just say 5 different model numbers for this. And it's just the colorways change. So that's still considered a model, a different model. So they were putting out on average 5,000 models per year, right? And they went from using Solida-based movements, ETA-based movements to cheap quartz. And currently, Invicta's putting out what I call hot garbage. They're using these same designs and they're putting in cheap quartz. They went the AliExpress way. And it's like, it's no celebration anymore when it comes to the customers, right? There's no like praising them. And again, I'm looking at these micro brands that are celebrating the fact that you're a customer. They are going to these pop-up shops, and they're doing interviews with people. I'm seeing they are intertwined with the whole horologist community, the content creators on YouTube. Invicta won't do it. And then you have glycine. I just talked about this. You're not even representing that right. And I'm not taking the whole lawsuit off the table right now. We're just talking about how you're doing business and how crazy that looks right now, because you have a bunch of core collectors that were waiting. Please make some more Swiss made pieces. Even if it's just a Swiss movement, you buy the movement, put it in there because that's happening. Who cares? Like, it's a Swiss movement. Put it in the watch. If the thing works and it was well built, just let me get it. Let me buy it. Let me celebrate. But that is dead and gone now. So now you have Facebook groups, Invictaholics, Invicta 757, Invicta Worldwide. You have all these groups that are still keeping up. They're waving the banner of Invicta right now. Not because of Eyal Lalo, but because we've established a base with each other. We have been in each other's homes. We have been in each other's lives. People have gotten married. They have lived life. They've done all type of stuff, man. This community is like, now, of course, some people, it's just like any other community. People have their issues. But I'm telling you, missed out on a big opportunity. Let's see, let me get into this. Ben, you should buy Glycine, the company. Aragon. That was the comment I just made, like a wing by Invicta. I'm going to say this because Invicta has been in trouble and have been having lawsuits and stuff. Like when they got sued for being too close to the Submariner. There's always been some type of issue with Invicta, man, since forever. Like it's always some type of trouble, and then it always allegedly it's always revolved around Eyal Lalo, right? I'm gonna follow this story close. Right, I'm gonna dig in some more, and whatever comes out, I'm pretty sure there's going to be there's going to be a few other people, but it's on Facebook. The news article to this alleged lawsuit is down in the description, so read it as you will. Aren't really worked to improve their product and slim down their offerings. Invicta is so involved with the racing now, two-time Formula 2 champs in every watch or closest racing inspired. Yeah, and it's cool. But like that, those watches, they are, man, how can I put it? They just don't compare to what they had before. There was a movement. Invicta was a whole movement, y'all, an entire movement. And dude just said, I don't care about none of that. He kind of just, now that, take out the whole, well, no. Let's place the lawsuit over here, and let's just say how this, like you have watches like this being produced. What was that? They said they would have never imagined the, what was that Invicta piece that they took overseas? Teddy Bulbasaur and a whole bunch of other heritage-based watch collectors and even makers were walking around with the Gladiator. That was a whole thing. And I'm sure that that boosted the sales of that if they can get their hands on it. It was meant for a gag, but like some people, I've seen people posting it, like, hey, I didn't even know that watch existed, and they went out and bought it. So you have watches like this. You have the Jailbreak, which wasn't an original Invicta design, but they acquired it. The Pro Diver, right? Chronograph. This was based off of, like, literally born off of the Rolex Submariner. Like, so Invicta's done their thing to get where they are right now. And I don't know how, this not even like my man taking off the gas. Eyal Lalo did not take his foot off the gas. He ran his fine sports car through the brush, the mire, through the woods, and he hit every tree, hit every post, everything on the way out, man. He came in with a Lamborghini and came out with a bicycle, you know what I'm saying, from like 1810 or whatever, whenever bikes were invented. He tore this thing apart, which come back full circle. That's something that Invicta's never done. And they actually had S. Koifman. That's another one. I didn't even talk about that. S. Koifman, they just threw that company away. S. Koifman, I can't remember the guy that founded S. Koifman, but I know him and Eugene of Glycine were friends back in 1914 when they came up with that company, when S. Koifman actually was founded, according to what I read. And you're talking about a Swiss powerhouse, inexpensive Swiss powerhouse, but has some phenomenal watches. Invicta had control of that. If you look at the S. Koifman right now, it's quartz junk. It's a shell of what it was before. And I'm like, yo, what, bro? That's crazy. And then you're gonna let Glycine. Y'all know Glycine comes out with watches on a regular basis. They update it, like they're doing new material in it, man. You know what I'm saying? Changing the bezel out. This is an actual good watch, man. This is a great, phenomenal watch. It's nice, man. And for those that like long lugs, this 50 millimeter lug, this thing takes up a lot of real estate, man, but it's super thin. It's super accurate. It's durable. I enjoy Glycine watches. From the combat sub to the airman, and Invicta does a terrible job at promoting them. They don't get with influencers, and again, Eyal will never have to pick me to do that, you know what I'm saying? But dude, you could have got somebody, and it cost you a lot of money to pick Shaq. And I will say this is before they closed the store in Manhattan. This is facts. This is factual. I was able to go and represent the Invicta brand as well as Trapvision 3D. I did a collector's event where you have to make this company a little more money than they make on a regular basis. And according to the staff there, I made over $25,000 extra, more than what they did. Now, real talk, the next event they had was Shaq. And guess what they spent? They spent over $30,000. I think it was close to $40,000 putting Shaq in a hotel, having an entourage, and they had people wrapped around the corner to come in and sign autographs. The company lost money that day because they only had a few people to buy, but they were there to meet Shaq. So, what does that look like, Mr. Eyal and your team? You had a guy like me and other collectors that came to your facility, your stores, your brick and mortar, and we help make money for the company. And you say, don't nobody listen to people like me? The facts are there. Proof is in the pudding, my friend. I will say this. Good luck to you in this court case. It is what it is. I just hope everything is done fairly in this situation. And I hope the person that needs to get rectified and have this thing corrected, get what they need. I don't know how this is going to look. If he's found guilty, does that mean that the workers that once worked for Eden Prairie, do they get broke off some of this money? Because it wasn't their fault that they lost their jobs. You lost one of your best stars, man. And like RJ's still doing stuff for Shop HQ right now, but it's not under the Invicta banner. So I don't know how this is going to look. I'm gonna close out. Well, no, hold on. Before I close out, let me get into the chat real quick. What up, Trap? Loving your content. Got my Island Invicta number 49911. I gotta see what that is. I'll look that up. 9911. Pro Diver Forge with the Zulu strap, the Squarematic S. Oh, okay, all right, cool. Here, example for Invicta reverse engineer success. Right, wow. Yeah, Invicta designs these days are horrible. I agree. Afraid if you want smaller watches, go to Aragon. Aragon's got some fire out there right now. You're right. So we see improvements, source of movements, calm down, 4,000 models, variations, and really partner with an insider who can move the needle. Yes, man, I agree with that, bro. Like, if they stop making so many, that's too many watches, bro. Get back to, like, what Invicta was, man. Like, you never see 50 models Invictas, and they had some decent models back then. You know what I'm saying? Some funky designs back then. They actually they were award-winning designs at times. Invicta was Invicta went to Basel World for like, was it 8-10 years? They was killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, polarizing, of course, but like, yeah, they never went back to any of those old designs. Why not go back to some of the old Invicta, man? What you like, bruh? Especially now, you're not keeping up with current. There's companies that's coming out. These micro brands are kicking Invicta in the teeth, man, as far as design, in my humble opinion. It wouldn't be an overnight success, gradually support over time. Yeah, Wayne doesn't need Invicta, in my opinion. He don't, but it would be interesting to see if, you know, it would be interesting, I think. He probably wouldn't even want it. He'd be like, man, you keep that. It's going to have to take real watch enthusiasts to change the Invicta image with Focus Collection, not 1,000 variants, and working with quality suppliers. I agree with you on that one. Aragon DF40 is 40 millimeters, 200. Yeah, boy. I was at an event at Times Square, and we tripled their day output. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, I've seen Tiffany Code from Movado, so nice. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. A lot of Tiffany and Co. stamp pieces are popping up. Here's an example of corner cutting by Invicta after acquiring glycine. They removed loom on the dial. Man, that's the thing, John, man. Like, why shortcut, bro? Why shortcut, especially something like this, bro? Like, glycine got fire. Do you know what glycine looked like even in 2000? Killer pieces. But then if you go back to glycine's collection from 69 through 80, like, there was some premier pieces in there, some very classic pieces that I'm like, yo, you should pop those up every once in a while. You should partner with the military every once in a while. Keep in mind, the airman was actually being traded. There, where are you at? Oh, I got it on my wrist. So, Hamilton. These are watches that were being distributed to military personnel, right? Helicopter pilots had them. When they saw, when they came across the glycine airman, the chief, they said, oh yeah, We don't turn because it's a part of the equipment. They turned in their Hamiltons for glycine. Like, what are we talking about? Historical value, man. I met a helicopter pilot that's all he owned was glycine airmen. You know what I'm saying? He swear by him, off the rip. And I have no idea what's going on, man. I don't know what's happening with this. This is wild. I was in a bit, okay, I've read that already. With all that low-end brands able to source cases with 200, Invictus would need to compete with better offerings than those brands. And John, I understand this. Understand the business portion of him purchasing that racing team, but what didn't look right, and this is based off of customers. When he purchased that race team, right, and he went through, they won, and Eyal Lalo posted some stuff on Instagram. You know what the highlight was? They said, "Oh, so this is where the money goes. He bought a yacht." And I said, well, I mean, it's his money to do what he wants to with, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the case is, but I get where people are coming from. This put people in a position where like, hey, I'm done with Invicta. I'm not buying Invicta no more. I hate the brand. I'm selling my watches. I wish I'd have never got into it. I'm like, okay. But at the end of the day, could he have invested back into the company and did exactly that? You know what I'm saying? Put Invicta in a position to win. Like update the Pro Diver, make it slimmer, you know what I'm saying? Like rework the design. I mean, you think about this right here. Invicta used to do a 3-watch buy system where like you'll purchase, you spend 200 and let's say 225 and you get 3 watches. One may be automatic, may have an NX35, the other one's got like a quartz movement in it. And all of them kind of mirrored each other in design. But since they did that, could you literally take this watch, right, with this root beer style, with a meteorite dial, and put it down to a maybe 12 millimeter case, a 47 millimeter lug to lug, put it at the 40, maybe 41, you know what I'm saying? But and the thing is, you still can make watches that appease those that love, there's people that love big watches. You can still, like, I'm not telling you to deviate from that. Customers weren't saying deviate from that, but like times has changed, man. Like people like what they like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, PRX. You know, Invicta made one of these. They made a homage to this. Last year, I saw it. I was like, yo, what are you doing? It was quartz, and I was like 170 bucks or something like that. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. You're copying designs. Like, why do you have to do that? Why are you doing it? There's enough people that's doing that right now. You're Invicta. You are one of the oldest companies out there. Why are you doing that? But, you know, people bought into it because they said, hey, you know what? They got a PRX style watch. Whew. Okay. All right. You like it, I love it. Cheers, wristful with, I don't know, be two-tone, haven't found the right one yet. Okay, Fred. All right, y'all, we've made it to, man, we're an hour and 13 minutes in, man. I appreciate you guys for being here, man. We will, like I said, I'm gonna keep a close eye on this topic, and I will be updating as it goes. I'm gonna be watching it, see what's happening. Facebook is going crazy on this topic right now. People are saying what they got to say. People are like, I hope, and I'm just saying this right now. So if Eyal Lalo and your team is watching, there's people that's banking on you failing right now. They want you to fall. They want you to be done, and they want somebody else to take over because they feel that somebody else that is in love with the watch community will do better than you. That is, go on Facebook and you can see for yourself. That's being said right now. That's not my words. Just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Do I think, my personal opinion, this isn't the first time that I've seen Invicta in trouble for something, possibly, allegedly, whatever the case is. My personal experience with Invicta, I don't like the overall. I still got my watches. Y'all see, I show them on a regular. Well, not on a regular, but when I need to, I'll pop them out. Had no problem doing that. I dig my watch collection. Won't shy away from my watch collection. I actually just went to an event here locally. Shout out to my Hoosiers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was dope. That's going to be an actual video coming up here. Me just recapping. And what's dope, this is what's dope. I got a chance, I invited Responsible Creator out to see the event. And Phil from Visitor Watches was there. And the team is actually going to be talking to him about the way he presented and stuff like that. So it's stuff coming up. I'll let you guys know what's happening. You know what I mean? Let me see before I get out of here. Is there any more comments? All right, no more comments. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, man. If you can do me a smooth favor, for those that have just gotten here, if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, if you like it, go check some other videos out. Just check it out before you do that. This may not be the place. Well, this may be the place you want to come like, hey, you know what? I dig this guy. Subscribe. Share it out. Hit the hype button. All that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Until the next lightning strike. Y'all be blessed. Dopeness.